but still able to provide that personal touch. Call Thomas Email today at 225-206-1517.
If you've been injured, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, June 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners at 8 a.m. and Hold the Mayo, Devin Snow, joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Well, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into this Monday morning edition of OTB Championship Day edition of Off the Bench here Monday, June 26, 2023. Here we arrive at the final day, boys, after an entire year of baseball, lifetimes of work, just thousands upon thousands of games. I mean, this season alone, over 70 games have gotten you to this point, and now you have 27 outs to write your legend. And it's funny, man. This is gonna be a show where we're gonna talk baseball the entire time. To be clear about that, right? We'll work through the entire weekend because it was a weekend full of massive highs and low lows, and we'll talk about kind of what went down in the game Saturday. We'll get to what went down in the game yesterday, and then we'll preview the game tonight. But for now, didn't plan on doing this, but it's coming to me as we're sitting here. I want to talk about the stakes, right? I want to talk about the difference on what's in the line tonight. And it's not just because it's baseball, but I keep thinking back to that old Sandlot line. What is it? Heroes are remembered, but legends never die. That idea of achieving immortality. Achilles in the movie Troy, when he's with his myrmidons and they're about to beach and, immortality awaits. Take it, right? What does that actually mean? What does it actually mean? And I think I can offer some unique perspective in this because I've been in this situation. I have been in the time before the game is played, a national championship game, that is. You exist in the quantum realm. Will you be a hero or will you be a legend? Will you achieve immortality? And the only way to do that is with a championship. And let's be clear, let's say this team doesn't win, that you will still be remembered for a while. You will still be celebrated. We'll think back fondly on stuff like some of those Tommy Tanks home runs to beat Wake Forest, to tie it up Saturday, the Trey Morgan play on the butt. We will think back on these things fondly, but they will dissipate over time. They will be a bit discolored. They will taste not quite as sweet as they should. And again, I have seen this firsthand. Being a member of that 2011 football team, there's a lot of good that year, a lot of great that year, and on the verge of being the greatest. And yet, in the end, what are your second place? And second place is nice, but you don't go on the Intimidator. You don't become one of those teams that 3 generations down the road people know about. Already now I'm realizing, and it's a function of getting older. I'm 34 years old now, but already now I realize when I talk to random people And I mentioned things like, oh, they're like, oh, what do you start talking about football? Like, hey, my senior year was, I was on that team where, we lost 21-0 in the national championship, right? People used to know exactly what you were talking about. They don't now. A lot do not. I mean, obviously in this ecosystem, yes, we know, right? Of course, we're in it, right? But when you go around the country, it used to be common knowledge. Now I've watched it over my life slowly erode into dust. But you know what people do remember? The 2007 national championship team, the 2003 national championship team, featuring guys like Chad Lavallee and others, and in baseball, the 2009 national championship team. So the point is, you have already achieved greatness. You're already heroes. You've already done so many good things. But if you want to truly live forever, if you want to have the bonds between brothers that will never break, that's the other crazy thing, man. Earlier this football season, we had a 2011 reunion before one of the games, and what all the fellas came to realize is that even though that was the closest team that we had ever been a part of at the time, the ending was so distasteful that it shattered the team. Everybody went their separate directions. No one ever saw each other again. A vast, vast difference. And again, I'm pulling from personal experience here, and we'll get in the game, but a vast difference from something like the 2007 team, where every time you get together, it's a gathering of champions. And those positive feelings help to forge and strengthen those bonds. We all know about the closeness of this team, the way that each player, from Skeens all the way down to whoever you want to name, they work in concert. They work together. They've lifted each other up when they've needed it. And the way to make sure that those bonds never go away, that team, whenever it gets together as a gathering of champions, is to win today. You got 27 outs. 27 outs, an entire lifetime of work. Not just this season, not just the fall, your entire life. All the travel ball that you did as a little kid. When other people were going around and going to summer camp having fun, and you were having to go to yet another tournament on the weekend that maybe you didn't really feel like going to, or you're practicing in the cage, whatever the case would be, y'all understand what I'm saying. An entire lifetime of work comes down to 27 outs. That's pressure. That's pressure. And it's going to take mental and physical toughness to deal with that pressure. But if there's one thing that I believe in this LSU team, it is that they have that mental and physical toughness to be able to overcome. I mean, look no further than how they got here. This is going to be their 8th game in 10 days. They did it the hard way, having to work through Tennessee multiple times, with Tennessee seemingly having every advantage, having to work through Wake Forest, the deepest staff, deepest lineup in the entire country, and now once again having to work through the Florida Gators, who D1 Baseball this morning called the best top-to-bottom roster in all of college baseball. But nothing in life worth doing is ever easy, and I mean that. Stop yourself and think about this for a second. I can't remember who said this, but it really stuck with me. Someone talked about the paradox of adversity when it comes to human beings. And what it is that the harder something is while you're doing it, you hate it a lot of times. And it's brutal, and it's stressful, and it pushes you to your limits mentally, physically. You feel like you may break in the doing. But once it's done, that's what ends up sticking with you. Those are the stories that you tell down the road. You don't think back on anything easy where you get those quick little dopamine hits, but you didn't really work for it. You don't tell your friends your stories. You don't tell your kids those stories. You don't think back on those stories. You think back to the times and you felt like you were just grinding your ass off, right? And all of a sudden it gets pictured in these kind of rose-colored lenses. And it takes on almost a golden glow. Now, but at the time, you forget, it was brutal. It was tough. It felt like that 8th inning on Saturday night where you're down 3-2. You haven't been able to get anything going. You're clinching. Is it all over? Was it all for naught? But then you find a way. Winning a championship is not easy. We talked about it the other day. Whenever you go into a game, You have to accept there are going to be ups and downs. It is not going to be some easy cruise. You are going to get punched in the mouth. You're going to get bloodied up. You're going to be challenged. Do you want to give up? Do you want to ring the bell? And how are you going to respond? Because that is what is going to determine if you achieve immortality. How do you respond to the adversity you're met with? Make no mistake, this is an LSU team that was dealt a blow yesterday. Dealt a blow. And we'll get into it next. We'll kind of go through the game. Because when you look at it, there were some very crucial and key moments in which a confluence of bad events ended up blowing this thing wide open. But what do we always say? The golden rule in sports is in football, it's one snap and clear. In baseball, it's the next pitch, okay? I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care what you did Saturday. All that matters is what are you going to do today? Zoom in further. I don't care what you did last pitch. I don't care what you're going to do next pitch. All that matters is what are you going to do this pitch? You just booted the ball and allowed a man on first. What are you going to do the next time the ball comes to you? Oh, you struck out swinging last time. You stranded a couple. What are you going to do the next time you get that opportunity? Are you going to let one failure infect you and lead to another? Or are you going to be like Arya Stark and Syrio Forel? Not today. Okay, Death? Because you have to live in the present. Today is all about presence. It's about not fearing the result, not basing your actions on the result, on winning or losing. Do what you have been trained to do this entire time. It's something that Jay Johnson has been so good about. Mentally preparing this team not to make the moment too big, to understand that at the end of the day, baseball is baseball, and you are good at baseball. So go do what you have done to get you to this point and win a championship and achieve immortality, okay? We are the big dogs. We are the bad guys. Like you said, if you're scared, we got no room for you in the boat, okay? We don't need any phobia. The ancient Greeks, I think it was Phobos was maybe the god, but basically you would hear them talk about fear on a battlefield as if it was some sort of contagion. One man catches it, it spreads to the next, and before you know it, everybody's wilting morale is lost and you're routed. We have no room for fear. We need men of action, and that's exactly what this LSU team has. Paul Skeens is not afraid. Dylan Cruz is not afraid. Tommy White is not afraid. Gavin Dugas, Cade Beloso, everybody you've seen step up. You don't make the plays they have made this entire year by being afraid, okay? So if you're scared, you already know. Go to church. Buy a dog. Do whatever you got to do, because come 6 p.m. tonight, there ain't no fear, okay? There's only the fight. And you dive into the fight. You lean into the fight. You live and feel the fight with every fiber of your being. And you don't worry about winning or losing the fight. You just enjoy the fight and every single moment of it. And if you trust yourself and you trust your preparation and your mental and physical training, this is the team that will emerge victorious. And I believe that will be this LSU team. All right. When we get back, let's go ahead and actually dive into, I had to get all that off my chest. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from, but when we get back, let's dive into the actual game. Look at yesterday. It's weird. Like, how much do we talk about Saturday? We'll kind of feel our way through that. I'm thinking we had a great whiskey and wine, which, by the way, tonight, you want to come be a part of it? You want to be a part of the No Fear crew? Okay, we're going to be out at Don Juan again tonight, whiskey and wine. It's going to be incredible. But keep it locked right here, youtube.com/1045 ESPN, and Championship Monday rolls right along here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Been issued a traffic ticket. Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. We have everything from tequila to an extensive bourbon category for cocktails served over ice balls. All that and our 29-degree man-sized drafts round out a drink menu second to none. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic view.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. I'll still be in Omaha. Jimmy will be back in Baton Rouge. We're brought to you by Finbom, right next to Rouse's Burbank at Lee. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Smile like the sun, kisses forever, and tales that never fade. You lie so low in the weeds. I bet you wanna ambush me. You have me down, 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 down on my knees. Now would ya, Barracuda?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on now? Welcome back to OTB. 24-4. It's a good thing that this is not football, and this is not a series in which aggregate is involved. And it's actually a pretty glorious thing. Because whatever, it doesn't matter. You win by 1, you win by 1,000,000. It's the exact same thing. LSU wins by 1 Saturday night. Florida wins by a College World Series record 20 yesterday. And guess what? It doesn't matter. They mean the exact same thing, okay? It almost makes it easier to flush in a lot of ways. Like we said, it was a weekend of a lot of highs, a weekend of a lot of lows, and what I don't want people to lose sight of is, as bad as yesterday felt, and maybe as disappointing as it was, given that a lot of us woke up that day with that kind of, man, is this a day in which you will lift a trophy at the end of the day sort of feeling? All yesterday's loss meant, like, if you really boil it down, take away everything else, losing 24-4, all that meant was you get to play more baseball, okay? And if there's one thing that I trust this team with, it's playing more baseball. We'll get to some Jay Johnson's comments from the postgame, but he was very matter-of-fact in the postgame, as were the players, basically. Stick with what got you here. All season long, you've been trusting the process one pitch at a time. This is no different. And, you know, we talked to Jay throughout the year, right? And what are some of the philosophies that he espoused? Make every single game a playoff game, right? Even down to the midweek. It's something that he took a lot of pride in, that they had only lost two, you know, for a month season, hadn't lost 2 games in a row. I think it ended up happening twice, maybe one time in Hoover where he took schemes out after 75. So even that's like a bit like, you know, is that realistically? But you get the point, okay? This is a team that since day one has been training for the one-game scenario by trying to make it their focus this entire year. And this is a team that, look, this is going to be put to the test. This is their 8th game in 10 days. It's crazy. One thing that Coach Johnson did mention yesterday, if you're just looking for a little positivity heading in today, is that the day game into a night game is almost like a day of rest for many of these guys who have got to be near the limits, near the edge of their physical and mental potential. But it's like my old man used to say, you can do anything for 3 hours. I don't care what it is. You can do anything for 3 hours, and then you can sleep when you're dead. So you just got to find a way today. Side note, I love that the game's at night. Felt weird during the day, didn't it? Doesn't feel like a championship should be decided while the sun is up. I mean, tonight feels like how the championship should actually be decided. Caglione, Skeens on the mound. The day after Dylan Cruz beats them both out for the Golden Spikes Award, you'll now probably see both them throwing. Caglione just set the record for most home runs in a single season. The BBCOR era with 33 yesterday. It deserves to be decided under the moon, under the lights, the bright lights of the stadium. So I kind of like that. But going back to yesterday, how did it happen, right? How do you get to 24-4? And y'all watch the game. You basically know. Just some numbers. I mean, you end up with 5 errors, including some real crucial sequences at the beginning. Looked like you were going to get out of a jam with a double play ball. You end up messing that up. Next thing you know, you got the grand slam. It's 7-3. That's after you left the bases loaded twice. 6 Florida home runs. 6 Florida home runs yesterday. That's the most for a single game in that stadium's history. And then we all know what the wind was doing, right? The wind was blowing like 30 miles an hour gusts, like straight out. So it was a party that was going to play very long and insane. And to back that up, check this out. The grand slam that felt like it broke everything. That was kind of the moment where it felt like the writing was done. Well, you had one more. That wasn't the final straw, but it was a lot of the straw. But that grand slam did something that no MLB home run has ever done. And this is a little dense, so you don't really need to worry about the numbers as much as what I'm going to tell you, just that this has never been done in Major League Baseball. So, and think about how many games they play in the majors and how much stuff they track. That grand slam had a launch angle of 51 degrees. To give you an idea of just how extreme the wind is, again, there has never been a home run in the MLB with a launch angle of 51 degrees. Later in the game, Caglione's second home run to set the record had a launch angle of 56. Okay, now the wind was blowing out for both teams. I understand all of that. The point is, these are the elements that conspired to make it all happen. And you have to credit them, right? They came up with the launch angle as opposed to grounding out, striking out like LSU did, or lining out like LSU did when the bases were loaded. So 6 home runs, 23 hits. Wyatt Langford goes 5 of 5, 2 doubles, home run, walk, 6 ribbies, 4 runs scored. Might be the most ridiculous stat line I've ever seen. LSU's up 3-1. They lose 24-4. 3-1 to 24-4. The 24 runs, most ever in the CWS. The old mark was 23 by Notre Dame in 1957 in Arizona in 84. It's the most lopsided win in the history of a tournament that's been around since 1948, I believe. And again, I guess one of my hopes would be, though, like everything that we just read is so statistically ridiculous, so mathematically over the top. The question is, did Florida maybe blow their nos too early, right? The classic Fast and the Furious. You think you got, you put so much into this game. Did you challenge the math gods and the law of averages having so much success concentrated into one game where, again, like we said, it doesn't mean anything more than winning 4-3, 3-2, whatever you want to say. And I know it's faulty logic because LSU at a certain point put in bad pitchers and your lesser pitchers are just going to lead to more runs. But still, baseball's a funny game, and you wasted a lot of good at-bats and a lot of production yesterday if you're the Florida Gators. Now, I do have some numbers that are maybe going to worry some of you. Since 2003, 10 series have gone to 3 games. And in those 10 series, the winners of Game 2 have won 7 of the 10. They've won the last 5, in fact. Now, if you look in the past, it was 2003 Rice, 2014 Vandy, and 2009 LSU, in which this was different. We remember you beat Texas in a close one Game 1. Texas handed you Game 2. You come back and you win Game 3. I would say the other difference here is none of those teams had Paul Skeens. And I don't know exactly what Skeens' role is going to be. It doesn't seem like anybody knows what Paul Skeens' role is going to be. It's, you talk to people, you get different answers. A couple days ago, we were talking, people was like, oh, you're not going to see him at all. Now some people are like, oh, hey, well, now that you're going to see him, he's probably going to start. I don't know exactly what his role is going to be. I do know this. Leah Van has a really interesting article. Kind of an it's kind of the perfect time for it, but I kind of feel like it's going to get buried in the noise a little bit. But Leah has a really good article today on strength and conditioning coach for LSU baseball, Derek Groomer. And this is a young strength and conditioning coach who actually comes from the same tree that the strength and conditioning coach at Oral Roberts and TCU do as well. So these are guys who are having a lot of success, right? And it's all very cutting edge. And it's all, I've never quite seen this before. This is not your old school, we're going to condition, like, we're just going to work, we're going to outwork it. It's very customized to each individual. Groomer's approaches. It's very specialized. One of the anecdotes from Leah's story is about Ty Floyd, where they're like doing all the testing to figure out how everybody works so you can know how to work with guys. And again, the personalized approach, what I love so much here, especially in a sport like baseball, which is so different physically from others, in terms of just these little micro bursts of activity with a lot of like waiting in between and weird movements like pitching and batting and whatnot. But they figure out that Ty Floyd had like a really tight hip, right? So they're like, okay, with this hip so much tighter than the other, we need to loosen that up. Well, come to find out that actually that tight hip was an advantage for him. He kind of screwed up Floyd's process, but didn't do it. So what they do, they adjust, and now they do specifically designed exercises to tighten that hip, like to make sure that it stays tighter so that he can do the things that he is able to do. And look, 17 Ks, right? And then they go on to talk about how like player evaluation literally starts from the toe up. Like, what do your toes do when you walk? How's your weight being distributed? Like, just wild scientific cutting edge sort of stuff. And the reason why I'm going so long about this is if you're trying to, okay, how do you get a guy like Paul Skeens who threw 120, 4 days later throws 120? How do you get him ready to produce everything that he can? I don't know that answer. But if anyone knows that answer, I feel like Derek Groomer does. That's the point. Is that you don't have someone out of touch or just old school, just go out there and throw it. And look, there is room for the old school attitude here. You showed me the Kurt Schilling tweet, Taylor, where basically said, what he said? He said, you're 21 years old, like, get the F out there.
I haven't. No, I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
like, for
pull it
YouTube.
up.
We can't quote it, but
no.
a guy, ironically named Matt Beck, said, what are your thoughts on Paul Skeens throwing tomorrow for LSU on 3 days rest after going 120 pitches last Thursday? And Schilling in Schilling fashion said, 3 days rest at what, 21 years old? Take the effing ball.
Take the effing ball.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Me and you talked about it Friday.
And the thing is, I'm sure that's how Paul Skeens' emotions are and mentality is. But the question is, the mind is willing. Can the body do it? And I believe with Groomer, with his scientific approach, with Paul Skeens' obsessive commitment to the game, to bettering, the amount of recovery exercises that I guarantee they've been doing this entire time. I mean, it's if nothing else, I don't know what the production is, but what I feel great about is that you're going to be able to maximize whatever Paul Skeens can physically give you. He wants the ball. Make no mistake about that. He's young, he's hungry, and he's got the right people handing him physically. So that's, I don't care about any of these stats of, the winners of game 2. I don't care. None of those teams had Paul Skeens. Okay. And then you still got Griffin Herring. You still got Gavin Guidry, after you limit him yesterday. Riley Cooper has a stomach bug. That's not ideal, but maybe this becomes like Cooper's flu game or something, right? You don't know. We'll see how Cooper is feeling today. Normally those things last about 24 hours, gets hydrated, get good to go. But I feel good. I feel good about Skeens pitching. What I maybe want to get to next a little bit is a tweet from Hanny, who we'll talk to at 9:30, still in Omaha. He says, everyone's probably going to spend all day wondering tomorrow if Skeens will pitch and how much and who else will pitch. I think LSU has enough pitching left. What they need are some timely hits. LSU's hitting .219 in Omaha, averaging 4 runs a game. They have left 66 runners on base. Let's explore that a little bit when we get back here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Paid for their testimonials.
You don't plan for a computer virus. You don't plan to lose files. You don't plan to knock your laptop off the counter. And you don't plan for your PC to crash or your screen to freeze. But Staples has a plan. A plan for unlimited virus protection. A plan for help when you need it 24/7. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned, starting as low as $199.99. And although you didn't plan for this, right now at Staples you can also get $250 off select computers. N729 in-store only. See associate for details.
Before sliding out of town this summer, slide on through Small Sliders.
College football talk all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Excellent. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show live from Omaha, Nebraska. We'll have a lot to talk about. Have a great weekend. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to OTB. So we kind of mentioned the hitting during the break there, and it's like Handy pointed out, right? You're hitting 219 in Omaha. Averaging just 4 runs a game. You left 66 runners on base. And I know it's weird because you're going against the best starters in the country. At a certain point, you do have to tip your cap to the opponent's pitching for being able to get out of these jams. And it's also weird because LSU's so good at getting on base that, and Jay Johnson talked about this, kind of just by the way things work, you're going to get into situations where you ended up stranding more than other teams, but it still has to be better than what it has been. Like, you deserve a lot of credit for doing very well against some of the best starters in the country in Sproat and Waldrop. But at the same time, you set the table, right? But you couldn't quite finish the fight. Like, you couldn't put the stake in their heart when you had ample opportunity to do so. You had it in, maybe the 3rd inning on Saturday night against Sproat, and then yesterday against Waldrop. I mean, inning 1, load the bases, nothing. Inning 2, load the bases, nothing. And then, even after you suffer the awful counterpunch of, and really think about this, so 2 innings in a row, and you're producing. I mean, you still scored 3, so you didn't come away completely empty-handed. But through 2 innings, you're getting after Waldrop. He clearly doesn't have it. He looks a little wild. You've loaded the bases twice again, and you had real opportunity to bust the game wide open. You don't do it, but you're still up 3-1. And it's at that moment you have the booted ball, which looks like it was going to be a double play that was going to get you out of a jam. That ends up loading the bases in. Next thing you know, you have that ridiculous wind-dated grand slam, and all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, here we sit. We wasted 2 opportunities. They get 1 and they come away, and now it's 7-3. And that felt very bad, right? But again, that was the majority of the breaking. That wasn't the final straw. The final straw was a combination of things. It was the next inning, once again, down 7-3, loading the bases again, 1 out, and having Tommy White at the plate. A man who has been made of heroics during this postseason, had the opportunity. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen this time. Grounds into a double play. And now what it means is that in the championship series alone, you are 0 for 6 with the bases loaded with 30 men left stranded. And again, I know you're always going to strand more when you get on base as much as LSU does, but at a certain point, someone has to come up with that timely hit. You got a freshman tonight in Caglione. He's a very good freshman. He's obviously he's an incredible player. Golden Spikes finalist. Just hit the record, 33 home runs in a single year. A 7-3 record, sub-4 ERA, been their day 3 starter the entire time. But you're the best lineup in the country, at least statistically, though you haven't shown it quite as much here in Omaha. So you have the booted ball, the grand slam, Tommy White, the double play, and then it was Jordan Thompson's throwing error. And not only is that another error for Thompson, which of course is tough enough to deal with, but it was such an odd choice, right? Like it was so, and even after the game, Jay said, I just kind of don't understand it. And to me, Thompson, and what we're talking about here, he had the chance to turn 2, he doesn't, and then instead he randomly tries to get a pick at third, and it goes wild, and all of a sudden it's 8-3, and that's when Bryce Collins enters the game. And when Bryce Collins comes to the game, you know what that, like Johnson could say, oh, well, he did well against him last year, but you know what that is. Then that is, you are not trying to waste any more arms. Once Bryce Collins enters the game, it's like, okay, he did well against him last year. Maybe there's an outside shot he can do well again, and you can do something, but you're kind of already, like there's so much bad that has happened in crucial moments. When you think about things like game flow, that was already almost a sign that, okay, we got to start to prepare the resources for tomorrow. But I want to highlight the Jordan Thompson throwing error things. I know a lot of people are frustrated with Thompson, and it's understandable, but nobody's more frustrated than Thompson himself, right? And the throwing error to me is so odd because it looks like someone who is really out of sorts, really, really pushing, because it's one of those that isn't really sensible. And when do we do things that are unsensible, right? When we're trying a little too hard, when we're getting outside of our zone. It's not representative of the ethos that they've held to the entire year, which is just it's baseball. No matter the setting, at the end of the day, it is still just baseball. And you have to approach it the same way. That was not a baseball decision. And so my thing, Jordan Thompson is going to be tested tonight more than anybody in Omaha. To come out of that game yesterday, you're 1 for 30 at the plate in Omaha. You make multiple crucial errors, which lead to 5 runs yesterday in big moments. Like we said, the run, you make the play that kind of throws up the white flag in a lot of ways. It's a lot to try to process mentally. And now you have to sleep on it for a night, a full 24 hours plus, as you get ready for another opportunity to erase it. And so maybe nobody, like we talk about overcoming mental adversity, can you rise to the occasion? Maybe no one going to be tested more than Jordan Thompson. It's, I can't pretend to know what he's going to do. I mean, I would bet on him. He's been excellent defensively all year. And if you say, well, no, of course he's made errors. He's a shortstop, right? If you have more opportunities, you're going to make some mistakes. But there's been so much more good than bad. And I think that Jordan Thompson bounces back, or at least I'll be watching very closely to see, does he have his moment defensively? Does he get an offensive moment? Whatever. Can he somehow flush the pain that he had to process this last day and letting his team down, the state down, everything, all the noise that's going to be surrounding him? Can he internalize? Can he flush it? Can he put the blinders on it? Can he focus on this game tonight? We will see. That's mental toughness. So, I mean, I guess I also want to highlight it, just say appreciate the test that young man is going through, because there is nothing easy about what he's being asked to do. Hey, I do want to remind you, look, AgTemp of Baton Rouge, you said it was going to be 100 today. If you look at the radar for this week, it's pretty much looking like the Paul Skeens radar. It's a hot boy. We got hundreds, 101, whatever. And for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs, you want to go to AccuTemp, okay? Take control of your comfort zone. AccutempBR.com. You get that service to the highest degree that is not just lip service. They're the absolute best. Go look at the online reviews. Their Google review ratings are incredible, and you don't get that unless your customers are consistently satisfied. So you already know all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. When we get back, closing hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. We always say, man, support those who support us. You see All-Star right over my shoulder every single day here. We talk about it a couple times a day. Nobody supports OTB like All-Star Toyota does. And that's why I love them. Well, I love them too because I actually love the product, the people, the process. We've been talking about a lot of process today. Well, their process can match whatever your family's needs are, right? I've gone in there with a number and then been like, oh, wow, okay. Then I end up leasing it and it worked out perfectly. I've gone in there with a very clear idea of what make and model I wanted to buy, right? And they were able to customize it, order it, and everything else. The point is you get exactly what you and your family need when you go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. They got the best prices, the best people, the best process. And it's all right there off of Airline Highway for you today. So find your next Toyota. Remember, everyone comes with that Toyota Care warranty at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the weekend's action between the Tigers and the Gators at the College World Series. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Into some of your comments here. Welcome back to OTB Championship Monday here on OTB. You know what? Let's talk about. I want to play the Rocky speech in a little bit because I think it's as appropriate as ever today. But let's talk about some of the good over the week, right? Because yes, the most recent result was 24-4, but as we said, that's the exact same as 4-3. No functional difference. And Saturday night. Like what you saw Saturday night is going to be more representative of what you will see tonight. Yesterday's game is a classic burn the tape, who gives a damn, move on, flush it. Okay? Saturday night's what tonight is going to feel like. A battle. Like I said, you're going to get punched in the mouth. You're going to bleed sometimes. You're going to make them bleed, right? It's going to be back and forth. It is what it is. But what you saw Saturday night was just extreme mental toughness. Whether it's Tommy White coming up with a big home run, the piercing catch in left field, incredible running. I mean, the game was over at that point. Josh Pearson saves the season. The belly bomb, Beloso also coming up with a big single. I mean, you have every people. You not only have your superstars obviously making this all happen, but then from all around the state of Louisiana, be it Lake Charles, be it Shreveport, be it New Orleans, you have guys producing. Everybody has to come together to win a championship. That was all on display Saturday night. And that is the team that will be back tonight. You can guarantee that. It ain't going to be like yesterday. Now, as far as the weather goes, there's no 30-mile-an-hour burst. The wind is going to be blowing out about 15 miles an hour, apparently to right, center, and then right field later in the game. Look, with Agenhausen pitching, the weather blowing out obviously was a big disadvantage. I mean, you're talking about a cat making his second start. When he had that incredible start, second start on 4 days rest, against the best teams in the country, right? And he was actually doing very well. The errors kind of screwed him. Like he could have maybe given you more than what the stat line would have told you. I mean, 4 of the 8 runs were unearned, and even then, it's like the earned ones don't come without those errors. So whatever, you get the point, right? Ack was still pretty solid. But at the same time, the other day, he was talking about how he could throw that changeup with so much confidence because the wind's blowing in. He knew stuff was going to get knocked down. Well, then he's asked to do something impossible. Today, you have Paul Skeens. So the wind maybe works in your advantage today because your bat should have the slight advantage today. And Cruz likes right center. Cruz likes right field. We know about K below. So we'll see how much the weather comes into play. Definitely did yesterday. That ridiculous wind changed that ballpark drastically. That's kind of crazy too, man. I'm not the best reference to this stuff because I haven't watched most baseball, but that park has just played completely differently here in this College World Series, but it seems like maybe a little offensive today. But here's a message, and I'm going to play a few of these throughout the show. I got some of my favorite kind of speeches or moments from cinema, movies, art that kind of pump me up when I'm feeling down. And here's a great one to start with because maybe just think about what happened the last couple of days, yesterday especially. Listen to what old Rocky Balboa has to say.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life.
I love the end there too, because that's actually how I feel about this LSU baseball team. Like I know many, if they don't win the championship, they'll still be great. Like we said, they won't be immortalized in the ways that you are when you do get that ring. But like, this is my first true love when it comes to this beautiful sport. Since I was a little kid and I used to love the Braves. But even then, what does a kid know of love, right? You don't really know. As you get older, you gain life experience. You start to plumb the depths of these emotions. And this LSU baseball team, I will always carry with me in my heart. And they are not cowards, right? How hard can you get hit and keep fighting back? You took a haymaker yesterday. Doesn't matter. Wipe the blood off your chin, get off the mat, and go fight today, because like Balboa said, that's how winning is done. Okay? Weekend winners going to start hour 2. I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk anything but baseball today. We'll see. There's a couple other newsy things in there, but keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Monday, June 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners. Coming up next, Hold the Mayo. Devin Snow joins the show at 9:15, and we talk to Charles Hannegriff at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2, Championship Monday, boys. Today is the day. How rare do you ever get to these moments? It's just such a good feeling. Already, boys, do you have a pit in your stomach? And I don't mean this in a bad way. I do. I got the butterflies going already. It's what it should be, though. It's what it's supposed to feel like. It's like I said Saturday. It just reminds you that you're alive. This is those feelings of anticipation are natural. You want to have those. And what I've realized, I mentioned at the end of the hour, this team kind of be my first love when it comes to baseball, as an adult and a sport, and college baseball specifically, that I'm gotten to know over the last few years, but really, really fallen for the last couple of years. There is nothing like postseason baseball. There's just absolutely nothing like it. It's different than football. Now, football, look, a lot of the same anxieties, regular season, like every single game, it's on the line. Baseball is one of those things where it's like, okay, regular season's fun, still intense, still huge moments, right? Are you going to win the weekend series or not? It's going to hinge on this. But it's maybe the reason why it feels so much different than football is because since everything feels so big in football, then the postseason just feels like still big. Whereas regular season and postseason baseball is such a vast gulf of difference in terms of nervous energy and anxiety. My heart was beating so fast, or I had so much adrenaline in my body on Saturday in Don Juan. I didn't sit down the entire time. I was pacing the entire time, but not just pacing. I was having to hit those in through the nose, out through the mouth breaths. You'll ever have your old strength coach tell you that, right? Trying to control your breathing. You're going to go in through the nose, into that diaphragm, fill it up, and then come out through the mouth. And you force yourself to do that. That's how you're going to slow your heart rate, slow your breathing. I did that from the 6th inning on, pacing. Couldn't breathe normally. Every single pitch matters. It's why all these runners stranded hurt you so bad. Not just because they hurt you on the field or the score, I get that, but it's why they hurt you in your soul is because of everything that's on the line. And guess what? I mean, I'm talking to myself as much as anybody else here. If you thought You thought it was anxious and fun and intense up to this point. I'm nervous for how I'm going to feel during this game because of how intense it is going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun at Don Juan, though. You'll have to come out. And by the end of this thing, I think this team's going to be lifting a ring because I believe in this LSU team. They've given me no reason to disbelieve in their ability to finish the fight and get the job done because every time when they have been asked to rise to the call, what have they done? They've done just that. All right, let's go ahead and do some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
This is all going to be a little random, maybe even a little shorter because obviously it's like, there's a giant fire consuming all the oxygen in the room and it's a national championship Monday. But very random. How about Naz Reid? Weekend winner. Mar, did you see this?
Yeah, I got the bag.
Naz Reid from the T-Will, 3 years, $42 million for the former Will Wademan. So shout out Naz Reid. Also, no, I don't have anything else to say, actually. Shout out Naz Reid. 3 years, $42 million. That's awesome.
Shout out to Naz Reid.
A guy that a lot of people were like calling kind of unathletic, I don't know, whatever. There's always going to be some level of doubt when it comes to the players that you watch so closely, but, he's doing it. Get it done in the NBA. Life-changing money. Congrats, Naz Reid.
Yes, well said. Weird build, but if you can put the ball in the basket, you can put the ball in the basket.
Yes, yeah.
So shout out to Naz Reid. To your point here, T-Bob, kind of random with my first weekend winner, but before the show, I saw that the word Busta was trending on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that's because Busta Rhymes last night was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards, introduced by Marlon Wayans. Clearly had a big impact on music, on hip-hop, somebody who definitely deserves to be remembered in my opinion. So shout out to Busta Rhymes, one of the good speed rappers kind of our generation.
The greatest. Him and, isn't it Twista?
Yeah, Twista.
He was used to be the Guinness record holder. Do you know who else won a BET award? Because she's on my weekend winners.
No, let me know.
Angel Reese.
Oh.
BET Sportswoman of the Year. The heater that Angel Reese is on continues. Just pop culture icon. The bag and then some. Cardi B music videos. BET Sportswoman of the Year. And now, such a beast, such a big dog, she couldn't even be in LA to accept the award because she's playing for Team USA in the Ameristar tournament, which is, AmeriCup tournament in Mexico. It's a North American tournament featuring 10 countries, teams. Angel Reese is playing for Team USA. She's gotten so big, couldn't even be there at the BET Awards to accept Sportswoman of the Year. Shout out Angel Reese, weekend winner.
Yeah, I got one. Mario's going to be mad that I took this one. It didn't really happen over the weekend, but you weren't here. We didn't talk about it Friday. I want to give a weekend winner to the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they got a heck of a player in Jordan Hawkins. They did not move in the draft. They grabbed him at number 14. Me, Mario, and Hester were talking about it Thursday when you were out. Hester said, "Take your shot. Who do you want him to take?" We both hyped up Jordan Hawkins.
Oh,
I said, "That's the."
Did.
I said that. Me and Hester did. Okay. That's the guy I wanted them to grab. They did. He could play the point guard. He could play the two. He's a shooter, which is what they need. I think he has a chance to be a really good player. So shout out New Orleans Pelicans.
Now, but traditionally 13 picks never really amount to anything, right?
I wouldn't say that.
No, not never. But I'm saying what's the hit rate when you're getting into 13, 15
hit
range?
rate? I don't know. I just think that they filled a need. They grabbed a guy that could be versatile at the 1 or the 2. They needed a shooter, and they didn't have to give up anything to get him.
Yeah, I'm with Taylor.
Mario, how do you feel about this?
I'm with Taylor. I could see how you would say it's not super exciting. I said it before. That's literally the worst pick you can have in the draft, the last pick of the lottery.
Yeah.
But they at least addressed the need, got a good shooter. Also signed, I don't have the name in front of me, I should, but the center from Vanderbilt who won SEC Defensive Player of the Year. The Pelicans signed him as an undrafted free agent. Last player they got that won that award went pretty well in Herb Jones. So
true.
Looks like a good draft, at least on the surface, for the Pellies.
couple of defensive players of the year, chopping it up. My next weekend winner, Dylan Cruz, because he won the Golden Spikes Award. It's kind of funny. On a day in which you lose 24-4, you also, because it was the same day, right? I think the award was handed out Sunday. So on a day in which you suffer this just awful team loss, somebody tells you, hey, you're the Golden Spikes winner. Second one in LSU history after Ben McDonald. So huge congrats to Dylan Cruz. Of course, he beats out Paul Skeens and he beats out Jack Caglione. And how perfect is baseball? We now have all three players on the field tonight, likely both players on the mound, hoping to see Paul Skeens start. So you'll get Caglione, Skeens off the bat. And boys, if you're an upperclassman on this LSU team, I know this doesn't really count as much in baseball and whatever. If the guy's good, he's good. But this is a freshman, okay? Treat him like a freshman. Stuff his ass in a locker and give him a swirly. Dylan Cruz has now reached base in 74 consecutive games, by the way. I cannot wrap my head around that. 74 consecutive games. Shout out Dylan Cruz. Any more winners, boys?
Yeah, just real quick. Feel like we kind of take this for granted at this point, but the SEC, two teams playing for the championship. Once again, happened with LSU Florida a few years ago. Happens in football a fair amount. Like I said, seems to happen a fair amount, but should be mentioned. 2 SEC teams playing for the championship. Looks good for the conference.
I hate conference pride. I hope every other SEC team does horrible. But factually, yes, you are correct. And it's something that should only continue in the age of NIL. Like we always say, emotional buy-in now equals economic buy-in, and nobody cares about college sports as much as the SEC does. So this is this concentration of power I would expect to continue into the future. Taylor, you got any more? Okay, my last one. He's a winner because you knew he was going to be drafted first, Wimbayama, but I really just want to bring up this picture. Did you see the picture of him with Manu, Dave Robinson, Tim Duncan, and who is, I don't know who the last guy in the picture is. I feel bad. Bring up this picture though, Taylor. It's in the it's in the document here. Wimbayama is like a real giant, dude.
Keep in mind, Tim Duncan is 7 feet tall.
Look at David Robinson.
Yeah.
Isn't David Robinson like 7'1"? Now he's old. He's probably like 7 foot. But you're right. It's one of those pictures where you almost need like a banana for scale. Like you need like a 5'10" guy for scale because everybody here is basically like 6'7" and above, like 7 feet and above. And Wimbayama is making them look like if you were to just see this picture, you'd be like, okay, yeah, the tall guy's like 6'3", probably like a 5'10", 6 foot. Manu looks like maybe like 5'8", 5'9", something like that. No. Look at that dude, 7. That dude.
Well, and Ginobili's listed height is 6'6".
I think Ginobili looks tall here, dude.
Yeah.
That's a tall 6'6". Good for Manu.
That might be Boris Diaw on the left, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
Shout out Boris Diaw, dude. I haven't thought about the name Boris Diaw in a long time.
Considered a top 5 French player of all time.
Man, look at Wimbayama though, making the Admiral look tiny. Admiral looks great though, dude. Aging very gracefully. Manu looks like the exact same age that he has for 40 years.
Yeah.
And I kind of love Tim Duncan's like dread retirement phase after the big fundamental. Even though I don't know what his style's like nowadays, if he's still as laissez-faire as he's always been. Traditionally has some of the worst style of any NBA player ever. There it is. Like I told you, haphazard weekend winners. When we get back, I want to get to some of Jay Johnson's post-game comments, yours as well. Get them in the chat. If you're watching at youtube.com/1045 ESPN, hit the like button. Remember, we're going to Don Juan for Whiskey and Wine tonight. You can come get weird, and then you can watch the post-game show immediately afterwards, in which the hope is that we'll be celebrating a championship. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Of new Chevrolets. For more, please visit SupremeChevy.com, SupremeChevroletWest.com, or find new roads to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine.
This is Malik Neighbors with the Tigers. Are you looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams? Join my team at Louisiana National Bank to experience uncommon banking. Stop by Louisiana National Bank and visit the friendly staff or online at ln.bank. Equal housing lenders and members of FDIC.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-126-74. Offices in Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. I'll still be in Omaha. Jimmy will be back in Baton Rouge. We're brought to you by Finbom, right next to Rouse's Burbank at Lee. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. What a game, what a game, what a game. It is the day, Championship Monday. It all comes down to this 27 ounce to decide it all. How many games have they played total this season? Is it 73 or 74 of these things? So wild to think about. Suddenly it all comes down to just one. And like Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball tweets out, the stage is set for a wonderful Monday night winner. Take all, as LSU baseball have Skeens, Hurd, Cooper, Herring available. And the Gators going to have Kaggs, Fisher, Neely, and Slater. So Neely and Slater, the two guys that you saw on Saturday, you will see again today likely at some point. And here's hoping that Riley Cooper's feeling better. If you missed it, he did not make it to the game yesterday. Had a stomach bug after that heroic performance on Saturday night. Throwing up, whatever you want to call it, not feeling well. Hopefully they can, IV him up, get him hydrated, do whatever you got to do. Hopefully it's just a 24-hour thing and he can be ready to go. I do like, and Jay John said this as well, I do like having a bit of a break going from a day game to the night game the following night. It's a little bit of an extended rest period for the fellows who have not had much rest with their 8th game now in 10 days. And I love the game being at night. Again, it just felt weird during the day. It just did not feel the same. Championship should be decided under the bright lights of prime time. The Tigers prowl at night. We all know this, right? We've seen it multiple times this postseason. LSU is best. They're at their best when the lights are brightest, and it doesn't get any brighter than tonight. Let's get to some Jay Johnson's comments after the game. Here was Jay's kind of overall thoughts. This is Johnson 1 here, Mario.
Tough one, obviously. Really good job by Florida swinging the bat. They got great players that played great today. We got off to a good start offensively. Did a nice job, I thought, with Waldrop. Would have been good to maybe get a 2-out hit in either the first or the second to put a little more pressure on them. But we didn't do that. And then you have to credit them. It was just an onslaught of good at-bats and barrels, and they're a great team, and they played great today.
And so we talked a lot about today. I mean, he kind of mentioned it there. He kind of touched on it, right? That's maybe the most disappointing part is that you really attacked a very good pitcher in Waldrop very well. And so if you could have avoided shooting yourself in the foot and snowballing, you could have gotten, you could have really tested Florida's depth here. Unfortunately, the game did snowball, and here's Jay explaining it through his view how it happened.
Made it hard on some guys for us that have been swinging the bat really well. And that was a killer, the double play when we had the bases loaded when it was 7-3. But still, we felt okay about it, which is, why we sent Gavin back out to the mound. Looking at it at 8-3, we went to Bryce because he pitched well against them last year, and it was largely the same lineup. It's almost identical, a lot like ours, and that's why we're both here. It's two really good teams that have old players that generally play the game the right way. And he was good in his first inning. He wasn't good in his second, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
So it's kind of exactly what we talked about earlier, right? 7-3, still okay. 8-3, Johnson had to make. And if you're someone who's like, you can't ever give up, it's not giving up. You have to be smart, okay? And so much of managing this run that LSU has been on, the 8 games to 10 games, is all about resource management. Where are you choosing to expend? Where are you choosing to save, right? Jay Johnson is a master of resource management. And I completely agree that if you just think about that, I think about it all the time in football, right? There's these certain game flow type of moments that when they happen against a good opponent, you know that they just they can decide things very early on. Think back to Tennessee football, right? Where you fumble the opening kickoff, 30 seconds later, they score a touchdown. That was one of those moments you're like, it's not often you're going to go against a team that's favored to beat you and you give them something like that and they win. Well, in the same way, when you're going against the other best team in the country, which I think it's actually pretty fair to say that LSU and Florida are the best 2 teams in the country now here playing at the end. They got all the Golden Spikes finalists. They got maybe the best rosters top to bottom. Maybe Wake's in there, but you get the point. So when you're going against the best teams in the country, if you're going to tell me that you go bases loaded 3 times, come away with 3 runs, they get it once, they hit a home run, they get a grand slam, and then that crazy throw in there to make it 8-3, yeah, you have to kind of accept at that point, it just ain't your day. And it's not that you just wholly give up, but that's what when you throw Collins, you're getting into resource management. And that's why winning Saturday was so important, so that you gave yourself that cushion and you allow Paul Skeens to potentially re-enter the fold. And so the question becomes, what is the pitching plan for tonight? Spoiler alert, Jay's playing a little coy. Here he is discussing what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, as I talked about last time, we do a process to figure that out, which we'll do, and that doesn't take place until day of game. So, yeah, we have to do that with all of them. I mean, you're going on game 8 in 10 days. So we have to be mindful of all that, and we will be, and we'll see who's available.
Well, and yeah, I mean, obviously, look, I think Skeens is throwing. I guess my question is, when do you throw Skeens? And a lot of people seem to think like, oh, save him. I don't agree with that at all. I'm like, if you know he's going to throw pitches, let him start the game. He needs to start the game. The early runs here, the early momentum runs. I don't mean actual physical, like on the scoreboard runs. I mean like runs of momentum. Like the early plays are going to decide so much of the tenor of this game. I want Skeens to set the tone like he has all season long, and then everybody else is just going to have to step up behind me, and Griffin, Herring, Thatcher Hurd, Riley Cooper, whoever. And so, yeah, if Skeens can throw, which I expect him to, I'm not saying that any authority. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. If he can, I would start him personally. Reynard Francois in the chat says, Jay Johnson cannot, in all caps, he says, cannot play Jordan Thompson tonight under any circumstances. Well, here's Jay Johnson on Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jordan. We wouldn't be in the College World Series, without Jordan and how he's played this year. He's had a tough tournament offensively, but there's been a lot of stories in the College World Series of guys struggle, and then get a big hit for you and make a big play for you. And I think he's a great candidate for that.
He would also go on to say, I thought it was included in that clip, but he goes on to say that he's definitely playing. Any talk like that, just get that out of your head, because that's crazy. What do we keep talking about? We keep talking about being process-oriented. We keep talking about embracing and living by what got you to this point. You cannot panic. You know what panic is? Taking Jordan Thompson out. Like that's panic, okay? Do what got you here. Dance with the people, partner, dance with the partner. You know the old saying, right? Dance with the person you brought to the dance. I don't think that's the saying, but you get it, okay? You get it, okay? Dance with the person you brought to dance. The classic saying. And after suffering, so I was texting Bill Bush, national champion, former LSU great, now doing radio up in Nebraska, was texting me before the show, and basically, saying big day today, and saying, do you think can they flush getting 24 off of him put on him? Well, here's what Jay Johnson had to say about bouncing back for Game 3.
We need to get these guys rested, get their bodies underneath, And for us, it's about playing in character. And when I look at this record of Florida's 54-16. They do a good job and they make it hard on you. We're 53-17, and if you're 53-17, you've done a heck of a lot more right than wrong. And so we're going to stick to how we prepare and roll it out tomorrow and give it everything that we have. It's one game for the national championship. I think Coach O'Sullivan probably feels great about his team, as he should with the players they have. I feel great about my team with the players that we have.
70 games. 70 games, and it comes down to one. And Jay Johnson's been here before. 2016, one game, one with Arizona, went on to lose the next two. He knows what it's like to be going into this moment, but you heard him there. We have to stick with what we've done. Well, Dylan Cruz was very matter of fact on being ready for Game 3. Here is Cruz on how he's approaching today.
Everybody in the locker room already forgot about it, really. We do a pretty good job of that, and I think we've only lost, back-to-back games twice this year. So, everybody's going to be, mentally sharp tomorrow, and, we're going to do what we got to do tonight to get our bodies right, and we'll be good for tomorrow.
And what's interesting is this idea of like, oh, can you flush getting 24 put on you? I mean, what did 24 actually mean? Like, it doesn't actually mean anything. All it means is you beat up on Bryce Collins, Blake Money, Sam Dutton, and Christian Little. All guys that have, they have had roles to play, over the course of the season like everybody does, but they are not the guys that you are relying on in the biggest moments. They're not part of kind of the Omaha squad in a lot of ways, if you will. So bouncing back from 24, I think it's easy, frankly, y'all. I don't think it's tough at all, especially if you have Skeens out there to just give you a little psychological confidence as your warrior, the chieftain, your Achilles is back to lead you once again. So I think this LSU team's gonna be ready, man, and it's gonna be guys like Dylan Cruz leading the way. And I don't know who is going to be the hero after tonight, but I do think that there will be a couple new heroes after tonight, because like we said, it's not tonight's game is going to be, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be intense. It's not going to be like yesterday. It's going to be way more reminiscent of Saturday. Who is going to make the crucial plays a la Pearson, Tanks, Beloso, whoever? Who's going to make the crucial plays that will live in the annals of LSU baseball history forever? And those are some decorated halls when you think about those plays. And yet the opportunity to really join that elite immortal club is right now. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
225-206-1517, 225-206-1517. That is Thomas' email cell phone number. You call that number, you get in touch with Thomas, and Megan email the insurance father-daughter insurance team that's going to save you money, man. Riverlands Insurance, look, they're from Louisiana. They can help you out. And I don't care, like, what type of business you're in, what type of insurance you need. If you're a developer, if you're just somebody who, like, you got a kid driving, maybe you have a business where you have to insure vehicles, maybe whatever it is, they understand the Louisiana market, okay? You give them the information, they do the shopping, and then they come back and they put savings in front of your face. But it's not just, oh, we're going to save you the most money, but, oh, your policy sucks. No, it is the best combination of the security and coverage you need, the price you're going to pay. We have so many people constantly talking about the hundreds to even thousands of dollars a year that they save after calling up Thomas, 225-206-1517.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco when it's Government Taco? Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show live from Omaha, Nebraska. We'll have a lot to talk about. Have a great weekend. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
We're riding down the boulevard. We're riding through the dark night. We're half a tank and empty heart. Pretending we're in love, but it's never enough. Not as the sirens fill the lonely air. Oh, how did we get here now, babe? We see a storm is closing in. Pretending we scared. Picked you up on Ocean Avenue with neon in your eyes and dreams of city lights. Oh yeah, oh.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Derek Chatham says, I am relaxed as I can be after losing by 20 runs yesterday. Because one thing has remained the same. We are not scoring runs. Our pitch staff has balled out long enough. I mean, the Bats do feel like they do, or feel like they are due. You're doing so much good. And sorry, I call Caglione a freshman. He's a sophomore. I'm an idiot. Thank you for the correction on Twitter. Let me credit who did that. But you've done so much good in these first two games. You just haven't been able to, like I said, drive the stake through the heart. You can do it with Spur. You can do it with wall drip. If you get that same opportunity against Caglione, you'll have a better chance to do so against Caglione, right? He is the day 3 starter for a reason. Still very good, but not as good. And so, again, I will always ride with this LSU team. I think they will continue to put people on base. And then I think tonight is the night in which somebody finally comes through with that massive that massive hit to kind of bust it wide open. Derek Chatham also says Guidry needs to stay on the bench. Don't trust him in a game like this. If we were to talk about the hierarchy, I mean, you go Skeens first, ideally, right? And then Arita Thatcher Hurd second, I would say. Absolutely. Because especially if Skeens goes for a shorter outing, we've seen how long Thatcher Hurd can go. Griffin Herring had the fantastic performance the other day where he went pretty long. Now, you don't want, I mean, it's going to be a shorter rest for him, so I'd maybe be a little more concerned about him, maybe over like a Hurd being able to get it done. And then I'm not exactly sure where you use Guidry. You can, but don't act like Guidry's been all bad. Okay, remember that's the effing hammer. Like there have been a couple bad moments, sure. There's also been a lot of good moments, and again, any pitcher was going to struggle more than they did previously when you're talking about the wind blowing out at 30 miles an hour. And it's wild just statistically because coming into this game, LSU's pitching staff had actually been incredible, right? They had only allowed runs in like a handful of the 50-plus innings that they had. And then yesterday, it just kind of all went awry, and you knew it was. And it was a mixture. It wasn't just the setting because Ackenhausen was actually having good moments, but you were putting him in tough spots. The errors set the tone. Yesterday was one of those games, everything that can go bad did go bad, burn the tape, move on, flush it. It got so bad. Like, you know what? if you want to go full sunshine pumping silver lining, it would have been way worse if yesterday you had gotten into a Saturday style game and lost. Like, that's when I become concerned, because you would have burned more resources, you would have burned more energy, you would have burned more emotion. I know the players said that, we're still locked in and we kept we were trying to win the whole time. And Dylan Cruz is one of the funniest quotes. It's not meant to be funny, but I was kind of cracking up post game. Like, when did y'all think it was, kind of over? And Cruz is like, I think when we got down 20. He's like, before that though, we've had some crazy comeback. I'm like, okay, dude, okay. No, y'all knew, and that's all good. And that's all good, because it was very easy then to realize, we don't have to go balls to the wall, lay every ounce of energy on the line that you have left. Not saying you're not trying. Resource management, though. So, in reality, getting blown out 24-4 is almost better than if you were to lose 5-4 or something like that, where you did throw your good arms and you tried to win and you came up just short and now you're resource strapped. And really, neither team's gonna be that resource strapped tonight. Like Kendall Rogers pointed out. Skeens, Hurd, Cooper Herring, Caglione, Fisher, Neely, Slater. Good on good. Langford, Cags, Dylan Cruz, Tommy Tanks. The best players in all of college baseball are going to be playing for a championship night. If you're just a fan of the game, this is going to be as good as it gets. And let's be clear, boys. I would hate to lose another natty to Florida. Like, if we want to talk about to look at the potential results of tonight and what could happen, to lose another natty to Florida would take away a lot of the football bragging rights that you have gained over the next decade. You say, T-Bob, no, what are you talking about? But it would, right? Because anytime you then go to talk trash to a Florida fan about how they can't beat you in football anymore, they can throw a national championship back in your face. But what if you could not only talk crap about beating them in football for a decade straight, but then you could also talk crap about getting revenge for the last national championship that you played in, and the first one since 2009, and now you're looking for your first championship in 14 years. The longest time since you won a national championship, since winning your first. This is easily the longest gap. And so, again, that's what makes this all so great. It's the disparity of the results. The old ABC Wide World of Sports line, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Boys, look up the Luthen there. Oh, man, where is it? What segment do I have it in? It's the, it says Luthen speech. It's from Andor. Look at 8:45 here, Taylor, and let me know when y'all have this video ready to go with sound, because I don't know if you watched Andor, but whatever, you don't have to, it doesn't matter. There's this character, Luthen, and he is a man who has committed himself to his cause. And this speech, if you haven't heard it, is one of the best. To me, it's you know me, I'm a big Star Wars nerd, right? It's arguably the best monologue in all of Star Wars, if we're being really honest. It's really one of the best monologues I've just ever seen in scripted television. But when you listen to it, I want you to think about Jay Johnson, because to me, this is Jay Johnson's mindset. This is his life. Remember, Jay Johnson does not have any children, And I bring that up because that seems a bit rare when you think about your major head coaches, right? And he is married, absolutely, and it's a working marriage. But like he said, even in the open press conference, he has a wife who understands the deal. And the deal is full and total commitment. Like our boy, Luthen Rail. Here he is. Listen to this right here and just think about this. Jay Johnson's a man who told us he likes to win more than he likes to breathe. The man who never stops recruiting. The man who's in at 5 a.m., leaves at 12 p.m. every single night. Listen to this quote and tell me it doesn't remind you of his mindset.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm. Kindness, kinship. Love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight, they set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I look down, there's no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
What do I sacrifice? Everything. And that's legitimate. Jay Johnson has committed every fiber of his being to winning a national championship in baseball, grinding his way up the ranks, not having connections, working his way from the West Coast all the way down here to the Mecca of college baseball. He made his mind a sunless place. And he does it like you said, his ego, his ability, his willingness to fight, his competitive drive, all of these things. But what it means is that he has that obsessive compulsive thing, right, where he wants to bring championships, he wants all of this, but that won't even end it. It never, ever ends. But that goal, right, the equation that he wrote 15 years ago, the end is now in sight, and it's 27 outs away. And he's been here before, and he got defeated. You know what he didn't do? He didn't give up. He kept sacrificing. He kept grinding. You know, he's not going and hanging out with friends on Saturday. He's not going and doing anything. Everything he does from day one since he has taken the job. Remember the first thing he did? He had Gavin Dugas in the office, like that day meeting. He'd already broken down film on Dugas and how he could help him. Like that is Jay Johnson. That total and full-out commitment. What has that man sacrificed? Everything. It goes back to an old Tommy Moffitt saying, how bad do you want it, and what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? And you don't get a more all-in answer than everything. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
The G-Team, Gordon McKernan. G-Team's getting it done, boys. I mean, Trey Morgan, the G-Team is getting it done. And actually, there's great talks with Trey Morgan and others on Gordon McKernan's social media. If you go to Get Gordon on like Instagram, Twitter, whatever, check out the Grubbin' with G series, YouTube. It's a fantastic series in which you hear from your favorite athletes and kind of talk about their journey, what motivates them, what drives them. Him and Trey Morgan talking about how, like, you know, Gordon went to the baseball bank. He's kind of looking around, okay, who do I want on the team? Who got to kind of commit to? And that Trey Morgan just kind of jumped off the screen. And now that man has been at his best when it has mattered most. And that's exactly what Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, are at their best when it matters most. When you need someone who's going to fight for you, you want to get Gordon, you want to get it done, and you already know the number, 225-888-8888, 225-888-8888.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the weekend's action between the Tigers and the Gators at the College World Series. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Okay. Coldplay. Well, young emo T-Bob used to listen to Coldplay going to bed every night for a while there. Shout out Chris Martin, I believe. Maybe his name. Doesn't matter. Gold Sales says, so Rocco said the Jello Shot record will be broken today by a huge LSU person. Is it Gordon himself, Joey B? I don't know, but the hint did say loves number 8. So, or at least mic'd up, the Mikey Matuk show tweeted something about loving number 8. I'm guessing it's Bregman, but I don't know. Either way, Jello Shots are, it's already insane what LSU has done. But again, what does it all mean if you don't get the ring? 2011 football team went 13-1. 07 went 12-2. Who do you remember more? You know? Second place dissipates over time. First place lives on forever. And plus, it's Florida. Florida. Nobody wants to lose to the jort-wearing jabronis over there. Swamps. What do they know about the swamp? Gainesville's just a concrete jungle. Somebody said, are they making people work in Louisiana today? Eric Ingram says, we're clocked in, but nothing is getting done. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those days where everybody's mind is in a different place, and it's looking forward to 6 p.m. tonight. The electricity in that stadium, the electricity on the television. I mean, think about it. Just record-setting performances in these first 2 games of completely different varietals. We're in game number 1. I want to say that Tommy White's like tied home run. It was something like he's the only player ever to have either like a tie or a walk-off in 2 College World Series games. It's just there's been record after record, and you're probably due for another record-setting out tonight. Jeff Duncan tweeting 48 seconds ago, got a feeling Paul Skeen's going to take his place in the pantheon of all-time LSU athletic heroes tonight in Omaha. Yeah, it's funny. Saturday, before the game, they showed Joe Burrow in the suite, and I was shocked at how my brain reacted to seeing him, right? You remember the old Pavlov's dog thing, where they train the dog where, you ring the bell, he eats the food. So eventually you ring the bell and he starts to slobber because he thinks he's about to get fed. I see Joe Burrow, I feel wins. Like I see Joe Burrow, it feels like a security blanket. Like the second that you saw Joe Burrow in that suite on Saturday, you're like, okay, you know what? The Tigers are going to be just fine. The point is, Paul Skeens has the chance to be Joe Burrow. And he has been Joe Burrow this entire season. And now, like Joe Burrow, who in a national championship had to stare down 17-7 in the face. They looked discombobulated. They looked out of sorts. It was one of the only times at the beginning of that game where that LSU offense seemed to struggle in the entire year. And yet Joey B found a way to come back, dominate, and win the game. In the same way, Paul Skeens can be viewed in the same light. If he can somehow push his body and his mind and his toughness to the limit and get that whip out, that repeatable motion, that smooth Indiana Jones. Let's go, Skeens. Write your legend. Achieve the immortality. Coming up next, spread lines 9:15, handy 9:30, hour 3 coming up.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com, Patient Plus UC.com, where you're going to see the difference. The digital profile system is something that's very cool. The first time you go in, instead of filling out paperwork, you can do some stuff on your phone, filling out paperwork on your phone. But once you do, what that means in the future is all you do is you walk in, it's one touch of a button, you're signed in, you don't even have to interact with anybody, and then all of a sudden you're in the back room, and you get evaluated by the best nurse practitioners, doctors in the business. They're going to make sure that you are okay, good to go, whatever testing you need, they all have there. And the tech in, like the technology, even in that digital system to me, is representative of what separates Patient Plus. And a lot of that is the investment in the facilities, the investment in you, the privacy of the rooms, the size of them. It's just, you've never been in urgent care this nice. So for life's unexpected moments, you want Patient Plus Urgent Care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, June 26th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTBOT, Holden Mayo joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Spread Lines, and we go out to Omaha at 9:30 to talk with Charles Hannegriff. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Fire 30-49. Ted Skeen pitches today and brings home the natty. He's going to be elevated to the stratosphere bird. You can plan on 2 statues of them going up. Ooh, a Paul Skeen statue would look so tight. How would you do it? Would you do him? I would do him when he was like when he's right here. When he does that little like pump in the glove right before he starts that whip. I don't know. Derek Chatham says, yesterday reminds me of the UCF bowl game where Burrow got picked and blasted on the pick 6. And then we all know what he did after that. True. Yodak Barbucci says, of course LSU could win tonight, but the humility they were served last night makes it seem unlikely the Tigers come back. Give them a 20% chance. See, I disagree. And the only reason I bring that comment up is to say I think that actually fundamentally misses the point. I think 20-12 is not a big deal. It is what it is. Whatever. Again, I think that's better than losing a close battle like Florida did Saturday night. I think that 24-4 is burn the tape. Move on. Wyatt Langford going 5 of 5, home run, 2 doubles, 6 ribbies, 4 runs. Good. Okay, good luck doing it 2 games in a row. Good luck, because the math gods are fickle. And you wasted a lot of good math in yesterday's game. You blew your nos too early. And if you've seen Fast and Furious 1, you know exactly where that ends up going. Bobby Hotep says there's a shot of Skeens towards the end of the game. He was staring a hole through Omaha. He spits out 2 Zen packets, turns around with a look of, I am playing tomorrow, and God help these a-holes. I don't know the veracity of the Zen packets, but I have seen that look from Skeens. We've seen it throughout this entire tournament. You saw it when he desperately needed Ackenhausen to be able to push for that 3rd Wake Forest game. The entire time, every time they show Skeens, he was locked in because he wants it. He wants the ball in his hand. And that's the wildest part. And, you know, we're doing all these Burrow Skeens comparisons. It's like, what a weird, and this is where baseball gets weird. It's why we talked about strength and conditioning earlier and how it's different and how you have to approach things differently. How weird in baseball that you know you are the guy. You're the best pitcher of the country, best player on your team, arguably. Even though Dylan Cruz wins the Golden Spikes, congratulations. And you have to just sit there. You have to wait. You have to trust your teammates. You know what you can do if you only get the opportunity. Well, today you have that opportunity. Daniel Bass said Florida runs on NOS, LSU runs on family. Damn right, dude. Damn right. Corey and Jacob, you didn't use any arms after Guidry. Yeah, and you took Guidry out early. Go back to that. I mean, look, go back to what Jay Johnson was it? Was it the snowball? I think it was here. Play Jay Johnson too, Mario. It's the snowball answer because he basically tells you when it was 7-3, we thought we had a chance, so we were going to throw Gavin a few more, but then after that, we went into pure save mode. So yeah, you saved Guidry.
Made it hard on some guys for us that have been swinging the bat really well, and that was a killer, the double play when we had the bases loaded when it was 7-3. But still, we felt okay about it, which is, why we sent Gavin back out to the mound. Looking at it at 8-3, we went to Bryce because he pitched well against them last year, and it was largely the same lineup. It's almost identical, a lot like ours, and that's why we're both here. It's two really good teams that have old players that generally play the game the right way. And he was good in his first inning. He wasn't good in his second, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Fire 3449 says in the second game last season, the 97 season, Bama beat LSU 28-2. Then LSU came out the next day to win, claimed the regular season title, then went on to beat Bama in the College World Series. Exactly. This ain't soccer, boys. There is no aggregate. 4-3, 24-4. It's all the same. It's all the exact same. Spencer P., everyone who watches Fast Furious knows the only thing more powerful than NOS is family. Straight up. Human NOS. Emotional NOS, if you will. When you're backed against a wall, you find that deep reserve of energy, the way to finish the fight thanks to your brothers in arms. Bobby Hotep, how many horses died for the Omaha Jello Shot Challenge this year? That's a good question. It's a lot of horse hooves. Yeah, that's, as long as they're not killing the horses specifically to make Jello shots, right? But I don't know the big horse business. I don't know exactly how that works. Where do I want to go next? I'm trying to think. We had spread lines coming up with Hold the Mayo. Ryan Brack says my stomach's already in knots. The game 9 hours away. I know. I feel the same way. I just told the boys, even during the break now, I'm already starting to hit the deep breaths. But it's good. It's good. This is good. This is good. This is what reminds you that you're alive. Like, don't we want to feel stuff while we're here on Earth? Isn't the biggest difference between alive and and being dead feeling stuff? At least from our earthly human perception, right? I'm not saying, I'm not getting into a theological debate about the existence of an afterlife or not, or whatever the case. Your beliefs are your beliefs. But while we are here, while we're talking about being rooted in the present, what is going to make you feel like tonight makes you feel? And well, I should also say, what's going to make you feel like tonight makes you feel, but actually doesn't matter, right? Something that isn't like a loved one being injured or something that, or like losing a mortgage or a job, like something that's actually like very intense and awful and hard to deal with. At the end of the day, this is sports, right? But that's why it's so much fun, because you get all of the emotions and you get all of this anxiety and anger and happiness and euphoria. I mean, the anger and anxiety that I was feeling in the eighth grade, that too. Junior high sucks. Very rough time. But don't worry, guys. It does get better. High school can suck as well. Generally in college, you kind of start to find your flow. You're going to be great. But yeah, in that eighth inning, the amount of puckering going on until Tanks hit that home run, and then just the pure euphoria from that moment afterwards and every single subsequent play that was made, like those are feelings that you just don't really emulate in that many areas of life anymore. And it's even sweeter when all those feelings result in a championship. So maybe, here's to hoping we have a good week, man. Here's to hoping we win Natty tonight. Mario, here's to hoping new roommate potentially this week.
Thank you.
we'd like to preface this, which if you're going to check out the house, the barrel of rotted meat, that's just deer. Don't worry about it, okay? The blood stains, that's a fungal thing. It's not actually blood. It just looks like that. So just don't ask too many questions, okay? You all are going to be great together. It's going to be excellent.
Thank you, T-Bob. But yeah, to your point, I think there's something to be said for, watching your team win a championship as an adult or later point in your life, right? Because last time LSU won in baseball was 2009.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old, right? Like
Take it
different.
for granted.
Exactly. Like awkward middle school kid, like you said, like different area of your life. But when you're an adult, I think you appreciate it a little bit more because
Absolutely.
you realize sports fandom, like 90% of the time, is you leaving disappointed. Like most of the time, the season's going to end in a disappointment, and it might still end in disappointment tonight, but at least you're in the championship, and if you win, you're celebrating something that hasn't been done in 14 years. Like, you're probably in a different era of your life. You would probably enjoy it in a different way. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that tonight and relishing the seventh win or the seventh ring for LSU baseball.
If they get it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a very salient point, Mario. I agree. And even though 09, it had been nearly a decade since you won, but it still hadn't been 13 years, right? So you've seen the gap get larger and larger. If you don't know when this year, who knows when you'll be back. And again, you got one game to take advantage of this incredible roster that you built with 2 Golden Spikes. I mean, think about that. LSU's had one guy win the award. I'm not 100% on this. Was Bregman the only one that was a finalist for the award after that, maybe? Because I don't think NOLA was, surprisingly. Maybe I'm a bit off. But the point is, you have such a rare collection of top-level talent mixed with the meat and potatoes Louisiana guys, and you have the championship makeup, and you just never want to waste those opportunities. And you have it. You've put yourself here, and I'm certainly at a point in my life, to your point, Mario, where I'm going to appreciate more now than I ever have in the past. All right, when we get back, let's talk to our guy, Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. Keep it locked right here. And then we got Hanny coming up at 9:30. More OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is is a taco more than just a taco when it's Government Taco? Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Demco wants to give you the knowledge to be power smart. Simple tips that can help you conserve energy and save money. Sealing air leaks around windows and doors is a good start. Smart thermostats and improved insulation are great ways to make a bigger difference. And remember, ceiling fans only make you feel cooler, so don't use them when you aren't in the room. Visit demco.org to get power smart today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. I'll still be in Omaha. Jimmy will be back in Baton Rouge. We're brought to you by Finbom, right next to Rouse's Burbank at Lee. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hit me. Right in the sternum this time, T-baby. You already know, you already know, you already know. This that hustler music, young Weezy got that money, hustler music. So ride to it, y'all, vibe to it, y'all. Damn, mixed the hit again his head with this one. I'ma paint the city red with this one. I'ma hit with this one. See you f***ing with the ball.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to OTB right now, Monday, 9:15. You know what we do every time this week. It's time for a little spread lines with our guy, Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. Championship edition of RB&R Day today, Dev. Have we decided what the best way to handle a championship RB&R Monday is?
Optimistically.
Okay.
Yeah, just straight up optimistically. It's not going to come down to like what I'm eating or anything like that. It's just the day itself, you know, like we don't lose.
No fear.
Usually we don't lose on RB&R Day. So I think we're going to win.
You don't lose two in a row. You got Skeeds. It's RB&R Day. Vibes are immensely high. And speaking of the Parish, a lot of people are calling him the Bayou Bambino. You have Parish Giambi written down here, but how about the thick-bodied king, Cade Beloso, his dad, Hot Rod Beloso? How about it? Representing.
I mean, that's what I wanted to start with, man. You know, baseball's probably my third, fourth favorite sport to watch. Dude, what a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what a week for dudes like me.
Yeah.
That, man, we don't watch a whole lot of baseball. You know, don't get me wrong. When I was a kid growing up, you know, I was in that whole MLB era with Sosa, McGuire, you know, and all those Bonds. But, dude, this is the most fun I've had, better than 2017. This is the most fun I've had watching baseball in my life, dude. And the Cade Beloso thing, that, I don't know, man, it just like, you felt it, you know, like when he was up to bat, not last night, but the day before,
Saturday,
when he was coming up to bat, I think it was in the 7th inning. Or I forget which
No,
inning
it was in the
but-
well, when he had the go-ahead home run, it would have been the 11th. Right? I mean,
oh, my bad. Yeah.
yeah, because he had the big RBI single early on, and then Tanks in the 8th, and then in the 11th, Beloso up to bat.
So when he's, we going through it, and before he even steps up to bat, man, just something came over me where I was like, he's about to hit a home run. Ain't no doubt about it. And sure enough, boom, dude, sounded like he just, the impact of that ball, bro. And it's just like, there it is. Paris Giambi stepping up. What a postseason run. They can call him Bayou Bambino. I don't want national media to take my nicknames. First of all, they not gonna, because they don't know what
They
the
don't know about
parish
the
is.
parishes. Yeah, they don't know about the parish.
Yeah, they're not gonna. That's why when you see, hey, this guy, he's from New Orleans, Louisiana, they don't even put Chalmette because they don't even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with them with the Bayou Bambino. Everybody knows when he steps up to the plate down here, it's Paris Giambi.
Yesterday I was going on a little like pregame jog, get my head right, get some endorphins going around the neighborhood, and I see some old cat cutting grass, older cat, right, great shape though, but 60 years old. Turns out he's from the parish. I think I'm just like, he's like, yeah, I'm like, oh hey, what's up, man? And then like 20 minutes later, Dev, I've just heard like 5 or 6 unbelievable stories. Stories about like Johnny Vaught, like the 1960s Ole Miss team, like paying players. He told me that he got it. He always wanted to box when he was younger, and then he figured out about this senior boxing thing. He became senior boxing world champion in like 2018. Like the amount of the I'm amazed, and the same thing down the bayou, but the parish especially, like the time to content ratio out of what you can get out of a single human being is undefeated. Like it was 4 stories that were all from vastly different eras, vastly different subjects, and all just as amazing as the last.
I believe it, because I remember everything I ever did in that parish. It's just, I don't know what it was about it. I just remember everything, And then, hey, it ain't just Kate Beluso. His dad,
Hot Rod. Real one.
If you didn't see enough parish stuff going on, when you saw him transport an alligator to Nebraska, okay, like probably had him in the back seat with a seatbelt on, that's when you know, bro. Like, it's just what a unique pairing right there.
Jesse McCormick says, talking to my homies in flight control, the Tiger Horde is en route to Omaha. Florida fans, beware. And then they're kind of talking about just how great Derek Smith said this CWS has been great for the sport, even for non-baseball fans. There's so much big league talent that CWS makes a big difference. Yeah, that's true, man. College baseball quality also, Dev, seems to be great right now. But Saturday, we just talked about it. We felt pretty good because you see Joe Burrow. You see Joe Burrow in the suite. It's like a warm blanket. How did you feel about Burrow's fit or overall look? He looks a little, I guess it's because like when we fell in love with him, he was, a boy. You're a man at 22, but you're still a boy, right? He's starting to get a little sharper, more angular, a little more like old Brady, not old Brady, like new Brady. You know how new Brady has those very sharp angles? I feel like Burrow was really pretty sharp himself.
Yeah, everybody knew when you pull up that picture and you look at it. We all probably been there before, man. That guy was, I don't care who it was, man. Joe Burrow, he was high as milk prices. He had the shades. He had the shades on with the little mini, it looked like he was eating a little mini bag of mini Oreos, We all been there, brother. I don't care how many millions of dollars you got. I knew that scene when I saw it, bro.
Well, shades on is always a great place to, if you're insecure about like a ton of people staring at you all the time or anything, shades on is a power move. And now, for it to be acceptable, you have to have the gravitas of someone like a Joe Burrow if you're going to wear them inside, but people will accept it. And then you're putting people immediately on the back heel because you can see them, but they can't see you. It's very alpha power tactic.
Got to have a few $1 million on you, and you got to be somebody to walk in a suite with shades on. Yeah. You're going to get questioned.
Yes, exactly. 1,000%. All right, look. Let's do
you want to touch on the Titanic submersible?
I do. No. That's what I was saying. We've talked so much baseball today. We can take a little break. And because this is the perfect time to talk about the Titanic submersible, I didn't really get to talk about it either because I was out last week, like flestering is the other best time of the week to do this. But I got to know your thoughts because, Dev, you've already been like super high on the Titanic for a while now, right? Like this has been one of your big passions for years. If one of your sponsors was like, hey, we'll pay the $250K. Remember, they had 2 or 3 successful trips down there. This OceanGate submersible did. If somebody had said, we'll pay your $250K, you get to go see the Titanic, would you have done it?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say no because, and I'm talking about with this guy, and it's only because I am so obsessed with, dude. When it comes to just unique things, I'm obsessed with. It's Titanic and Alcatraz. That's the 2 things right there. Wow. And yeah, dude, I'm talking about like 15 years of just like I'll sit here shipping shirts and just watch footage of whoever went down to the Titanic, etc. So I saw this guy, Stockton Rush, the guy that owns OceanGate. I saw this guy. I commented on your tweet last week. I saw this guy 3 years ago. And he was
you've been on Stockton Rush for a while then, and not as Johnny come latelys.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Like when he the whole Xbox controller thing, I saw that 3 years ago, and even when I was watching it then, I was like, man, this guy's slimy, bro. It's the first thing that pops in my head. It's like, this guy's slimy, dude. Like I would never go down that far underwater, like with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we talking James Cameron or Robert Ballard, you know, those guys.
Who's Robert Ballard?
He is the first guy to ever discover the Titanic. I believe it was in '87.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was the first, and he's look, man, you know, guy was in the military. You know, he was big in like, I think it was in, I don't know if it was Boston, one of those cities. He had like a whole business to where, or research center for underwater. So he's been at it for 40, 50 years. I would never go down with that guy Stockton Rush. Are you serious, bro? Like he just like, if you watch his videos, bro, it's slimy. It's a money grab. Like you go look at their YouTube, OceanGate, you know, all their clips. It's not like they're giving you a 20-minute discovery of the Titanic. No, they're going to give you 30 seconds per clip. Hey, here's the wheel of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Let's get 1 million views on this. Let's monetize, and let's go show them the shoes that were right next to it. You could have showed us the shoes right next to the wheel, but you just said, hey, we're just going to show you this one wheel, 20 seconds. We're going to make, you know, a bunch of money, and then we're going to show you this next thing. It's just all profit.
See, okay, so I agree. I agree that a lot of this was profit-based, right? The you know, $250K tickets and everything else, and just the cutting corners, bragging about getting off-the-shelf pieces, not hiring, you know, submersible military experts, basically saying, they're old and out of touch, and trying to hire young people that you can kind of manipulate to be like, hey, we can cut these corners. Like, I do understand that a lot of it did seem to be profit-motivated, but I mean, he had a real passion for the Titanic.
No doubt.
I mean, you see him talk about it, but the problem is, I think he also had the hubris that comes from being as successful as he was, right? Where anytime you make it in life to the level that he had, you start to believe that whatever you do, you're probably right? And that that you're seeing what others are not. And so where others saw danger, he saw innovation. And unfortunately, look, the ocean, man, you don't show enough respect the ocean, that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and like I said, man, Ballard and Cameron, like Cameron's been down there 34 times, I believe. Like, you bet your butt that guy had the Navy, you know, everybody was involved in his submersible making and all that.
Have you read about, there's a couple great Twitter threads out there. Have you read about when Cameron went down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? The literal lowest part of the ocean that we know about. And he did it in 2011. But he did it in a submersible that, like you said, had just millions of dollars poured into it, all the rigorous stress testing. You know, the OceanGate thing was built a bit like a minivan. If you look at James Cameron's thing that he went to the bottom of the trench with, there's about 43 inches of space for Cameron to sit in, because everything else is packed with electronics, life support, redundancies, like things to make you somehow able to survive at the bottom there. I don't look. And as I get older, I start to get these weird, almost claustrophobic panic attacks on planes and stuff. Me too. Get the heebie-jeebies thinking about being James Cameron, 43 inches at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. How in the world does James Cameron have the nuts to do it? But you're right. I would trust him. If he invites me, that would be the only person that I would say yes to. I still wouldn't say yes because I just don't care. I just don't want to. But he would be the only one.
And that's the other thing. It's like, dude, like there's so much stuff on the internet right now in 4K, 8K, and 8K. You can see the Titanic in 8K.
Oh, bro, the new 3D scan that they did is unreal. You can see it's in greater detail than any visual, like visual photography or video that we have.
The 3D scan really gives you enough clarity to be like, dude, I don't need to go down there.
Exactly.
Bro. Like,
exactly.
Because, dude, it's really just a pile of junk. And it's like, bro, like, do you want to do that? No, I don't think so. So anyway.
Now there is a lot of talk in chat about how they probably didn't feel a thing, and that's true. And it is sad. I really feel bad for the 19-year-old kid. They were talking about how he didn't want to go, trying to make his dad happy, and we can all understand that. That's awful.
Imagine a 19-year-old kid, man, like talking to one of his buddies before he left, like, hey man, I ain't gonna be able to make it tomorrow. I gotta go see the Titanic with my dad.
That is kind of absurd. That's a little crazy.
But
I guess there maybe is some small mercy in that. From everything I've read, the science of it is that it would have been instant, right? Like the second a crack appears, the pressure is so great that you basically, I heard something about the air heats up to like the surface of the sun or something when it implodes. Just absolute insanity.
Yeah, it basically shrinks you. It's crazy. Yeah, it really is. But yeah, man, I don't think we're going to be going down to the Titanic too much anytime soon.
Jesse McCormick says, what's the current most badass military submarine? I did a little bit of research here, and I started getting freaked out because I found out about some Russian super sub that has some sort of doomsday device on it that can cause mega tsunamis that was just launched. Well, I saw one story saying it was just launched and is now underwater somewhere and missing. I don't know the veracity of it. I couldn't find too much to back it up. And then there was it's like Saturday. I'm just trying to win a national championship. And there's is there a Russian civil war? Is there not a civil war? It was a weird day Saturday. Just a weird day overall.
Yeah, no, the LSU games were good for me, dude, because I was researching so much about submersibles and Titanic all week long. It's like it was a getaway to watch LSU. And now I think I'm pretty much over the Titanic thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I'm gonna.
This is probably the last time I'll talk about it. I just needed to. I haven't talked on air about it with anybody. I needed to get it out of my system.
But it is weird, man. How because James Cameron and that dude Robert Ballard, bro. You could look at any interview they ever had, and if Stockton and Rush was brought up, they did not like that dude, bro. And you wonder why.
Yeah, no, because he was making light of something that you have to take seriously. I mean, you can't. You my old man always said, look, you cannot go half-stepping in the hole, okay? When you go half-stepping is when you get hurt. You cannot go half-stepping into space, and you cannot go half-stepping into deep ocean. Like, these are just the rules. You got to come correct. You got to show the proper amount of respect, and they did not, unfortunately.
And it reminds you of, where we at, in our advancements. Because, man, we've advanced a lot in the last 20 years, whether it's with technology, whatever, right? But, in probably 100, 200 years, they're going to be getting down to the Titanic like this. Like it's going to grab a granola bar out the pantry. But we're not there yet.
I guess to be fair, they did make it down there a couple of times and back up successfully with a pretty shoddily designed thing. So to your point, you are almost reaching consumer grade trips down there.
Yeah, I just think that it's still every time you go down there now, it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen here, But I think come 200, 300, whatever many years from now, I think anybody will be able to go down there. It's just we're not there yet in advancement.
Jesse McCord, would you rather risk your life $250K to go to deep ocean or $250K to go to outer space for the 0G alone, dude? I don't want to be deep ocean. I mean, I don't want to be either, to be honest. Both sound claustrophobic. But, come on. If you're in deep ocean, you're just sitting there. And that's the worst part. They're looking at a screen of a camera that's pointed at the Titanic.
Yeah.
They're not even looking at at least if I'm in space, I'm floating around. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I'm squirting little water and it's doing the little bubble water floaty thing and everything. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I would want to do in space that if I do in a submersible, it's just like I'm doing them on Earth.
Right. And that's what I think, like Cameron and Ballard, they say it all the time. They're like, dude, we're not going to go down there anymore. We could just send a video camera and it'll catch it'll look like you're actually watching it. Like,
oh, is that their new thing now? They're saying it's not even worth being like doing like, I guess 2011 was a long time ago. It's not even worth doing like manned expeditions anymore.
Yeah, they're against that. If you look at any documentaries on Cameron or Ballard, they against that because they went through it. They were like, dude, this ain't worth it, you know? And then you had the guy Stockton Rush who was bringing people down that were paying. You know what I'm saying? If you pay $250,000, you don't want to just pay $250,000 to look at a screen up top above the water. So he wanted, that's what he was doing.
Oof, insanity, dude. What is this about? My heart will go on.
Oh, Celine Dion. Shout out Celine Dion. First of all, we don't shout out Celine Dion enough.
Hey, you know Celine Dion's mom is an Hebert. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Canadian Hebert. How about that? But continue.
Okay. Yeah, no. 500,000 plays last week for My Heart Will Go On, which is one of the most mysterious things, right? Because we all know, like, I'm not going to bump that around my friends, in the vehicle unless I'm a psychopath, right? But
you bump it alone.
People are playing that song. Somebody somewhere, some big dude in his big truck, was playing that last week, and
I love it. I've always been a massive fan. My oldest sister was she was like the perfect age when Titanic came out, where she was one of those teens that saw it like 16 times in theater, and then she learned to play it on the piano. So literally every night that I went to bed for a night for about a year, My Heart Will Go On was tinkling away throughout the house. So yeah, I have a very, and then did you see it combined with the Tommy Tanks home run in the Wake Forest?
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
One of the most legendary songs ever written.
Really is, man. And we just don't, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like anybody that listens to it, like, they got to look over their shoulder and make sure nobody's there. But it's a great song.
It was my ringtone on my Verizon flip phone back in 2005. I remember.
My wake up song still to this day, it's been like this for 10 years, is I'm Like a Bird by Nelly Furtado. It's a great.
That is so random.
What a great song to wake up to.
How many people actually do that? Have a wake up song as their alarm? I just do an alarm. I feel like you're in the minority. This feels like a bit of a thing of the past, like a ringtone type deal. Maybe not though. Maybe a lot of people are waking up to a song. I feel like it's a good way to hate that song though.
Yeah, I mean, no, I love it more than ever. To be honest with you, yeah, dude. Nelly Furtado, what a legend. And the ringtone thing, as far as like, it's post dated. That's on everybody else, bro. I don't think there's nothing about ringtones that give off a post date like outdated. It's just a ringtone, bro. It's not like it's got dust on. It ain't like it's got dust on it or anything like that.
I look at a person sideways if I hear like a song coming out of the phone. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Just give me a classic or something along those lines. Like, come on. We're professionals now. We're adults.
I guess if you use it as an actual ringtone, yes. But like alarm clock, bro, it's okay, dude. It's okay.
All right, Deb, you have a great day. Enjoy your RB&R day. HTMsports.com/shop. You get all the excellent merch, and we'll holla at you. We'll see you later, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.
All right, when we get back, we'll talk to Hanny live from Omaha for real quick check-in, then close out the show. See you soon on OTB.
OTB, OT.
What do we got here, boys? Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota is your place to find your next vehicle. Look, we're talking about Toyota. You know it's a great investment. You know it stands the test of time. If you're going on vacation this summer, still a lot of summer left. You're going to the beach, you're going to Disney, whatever. Maybe you need a big vehicle where you need more storage, more room for your family than you have. Maybe you just don't want to put miles on your car. Check out the rental options from All-Star Toyota. Hit up Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department. They're going to get you straight cheaper per day rental pricing than a lot of your traditional rental companies, and it's just so easy. And that's how we describe everything with All-Star Toyota, just easy, right? From getting in there and looking at the selection, understanding the deals, understanding all the different options to you once you own it, and the Toyota Certified Warranty, where it tells you when to bring it in. They take care of it for you. They're the absolute best. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further...
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show live from Omaha, Nebraska. We'll have a lot to talk about. Have a great weekend. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
When you're tired, when you're lonely, can just reach out and on. No, I'll be there. I'll help you weather the storm. Us together, nothing's ever felt more like home. No, I'll be there. You will never be alone.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Cablosa's walk-up song, baby. It's all we need. Just a little love tonight. And right now, let's go to the man that we love, Archmaester Hannegriff, the Lord Master himself. Hanny, how we feeling in Omaha? Championship Monday, Hanny.
Yeah, got a big game today, T-Bob. Great looking day for baseball. See if the Tigers can get it done.
Rep Business sending Hanny and the crew out there. Hanny, have you ever been in Omaha for an LSU winner-take-all game?
Yeah, I was here in 2009 when they played
Okay.
Texas. And then, of course, it used to be one game for the championship. There wasn't a championship series. So 96, 97, 2000 were all one game winner take all.
Okay, so you've been at them all. Do you see any common denominators, any threads that you can pull from the past that are affecting your feelings today?
A little bit. In 2009, they did win the first game in extra innings. They did get beat in the second game. Not as bad as yesterday, but they did get shut out. And then in the third game, some similar, although not identical, questions were being asked about who could come back. Then it was Anthony Renato and Lewis Coleman, who both ended up pitching in that game. And it was a tie game going into the seventh inning. It was 3 innings for the national championship, and LSU came up big. So a little bit to 2009.
Hanny, how do you feel about today's matchup? What do you think Skeen's role is?
This is totally a guess, guys, because I don't know how he feels. Only he and Jay Johnson know
Yeah.
for sure. I think he's probably going to pitch, but I would be a little bit surprised if he started.
Really?
My best guess is that they will hold him in relief, and if they get into the 8th inning with a short lead, 1 or 2 runs, then they'll bring him up for 3 to 6 outs. That's just my best guess. He may go out there all day. Like I said, only he and Jay Johnson know that for sure.
I hope you're wrong, Hanny. Well, but I don't know. Actually, I don't hope you're completely wrong, because if you have a lead with him coming in the 8th inning, I will feel good about that. To be fair, I just really feel like I want a tone setter to wash away the taste of yesterday, and I'm hoping that Paul Skeens can somehow, like, he's already been so superhuman. Can he continue to do superhuman things? Hanny, just set the scene for us. LSU fans rolling in. What's the vibe like here on this Monday morning as we let you go?
Well, it was the one thing I felt like after the first game was it almost felt like LSU had already won this thing. And, I kind of talked myself out of it yesterday morning, but that did kind of linger. They took the lead, and it's like, hey, this is over. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not over. And so I've got that opposite feeling today because of the score, which is really meaningless in the grand context. A lot of people are thinking it's over the other way, and it's not. We got 9 innings of baseball. We got a pretty even matchup with these two teams.
Yep.
Florida's got the pitching advantage with what they've got left, no question, but I think it's all hands on deck today. So, gear up. It's a baseball game, and anything can happen. But Florida's a favorite. I get it. They should be. But Paul Skeens' role, and listen, don't underestimate that role that Riley Cooper could play tonight. He did not go to the game yesterday. He had a stomach bug, whatever. They need him today.
Yep.
He's been LSU's MVP up here. If he can't go today, that's a major, major blow for LSU. So let's hope he gets up, gets himself hydrated, gets to feeling good. They need the big guy to pitch tonight.
27 outs for immortality. Hanny, live from Omaha, brought to you by Rep Business. Hanny, thank you so much, man. Here's to we're celebrating a Tiger Championship tomorrow.
All right, thanks, T-Bob.
All right, when we get back, wrapping up OTB.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. When you overthink it, don't overthink it, y'all. Go to the champions of plumbing. Central Plumbing, been at it for 50 years. A dynasty in their own right. And the only way you make it over 5 decades is if your customers are consistently satisfied. How are you consistently satisfied? How about flat rate pricing? Okay, so you know exactly what you're getting into. How about expertise, right? Guys who are licensed, bonded, insured, and experienced. Through 5 decades, they've seen it all. They can fix it all. Old house, new house, I don't care. Central Plumbing knows what to do. How about great warranty coverage, a month of service work, a year on new installations, so you have peace of mind once the work is done. So what are you waiting for? Also a great place to work. If you ever thought about getting in the plumbing business, check out Central Plumbing. They can get you up to speed very quickly. Make some good money, man. So again, 925-8552 is the number. CentralPlumbing.org is the site. When you overthink it, don't overthink it. Go to Central Plumbing.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the weekend's action between the Tigers and the Gators at the College World Series. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ask the Bench. Cole Kurzweil, Visitor Telter, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Reed. Doing to remind you about Rejuvame Medical as well. RejuveMeMedical.com. Got locations in Baton Rouge, Slidell, Metairie, now Shreveport. Look, check it out. Maybe HRT's for you. Maybe it's not. Get you, but your body's going to be the guide. You go and Rejuvame. You get your labs drawn. See where it's sufficient. Maybe you catch some major issues they can help with. They've saved lives before like that. But then you get a plan customized to you to help you achieve max efficiency, your max physical potential. Okay, we do upkeep on everything else. We got to do upkeep on our bodies as well, y'all. And then ask about metabolization optimization while you're in there. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. All right, boys, it is game day. Okay, the big boy, and I've been playing clips that I get excited about. Here is one of my favorite clips. It comes from Return of the King. As everything's on the line, the Battle of Pelennor Fields, there's just a sea of orcs out there. And listen to Theoden rally the boys.
Hey, man! Take your Aerid down the left flank! Gamling, follow the King's banner down the center. Remote, take your company right after you pass the wall. Forth, and fear no darkness! Arise! Arise, riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! a sword day, a red day, and the sun rises!
Whatever happens, stay with me. I'll look after you.
Right now! Right now! Right! Right for ruin and the world's ending!
Let's go, boys! Dad, it all comes down to this. 27 ounce, all your life, immortality. F the Gators, go Tigers!
OT. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.